Go ahead. Great. All right. Well, welcome to the special meeting of the Board of Trustees for Oroville City Elementary School District. I'll call the meeting to order at 4:58. Just a little early. Let's do a roll call. Lisa Torres. Here. Jessica Anthony is absent. Sandra Barnes. Here. Bill LeBron.
Present.
And Dr. Halter.
Present.
All right, we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, so we will start with public comments on non-agenda items. At this time, the board will extend an invitation to interested parties who wish to speak on matters which are school related. For those attending remotely who wish to comment, use the raise your hand button. Comments and questions may be emailed to backpack@ocesd.net. Please include your first and last name in your email. Comments and questions received will be read into the record and or addressed during the meeting. However, comments received without the sender's name will not be shared during the meeting. Do we have any emails at Backpack to read?
No, we do not.
Okay, and anyone online wishing to speak?
No.
Okay, and nobody here in the audience wishing to speak. Okay, and now public comments on special meeting agenda items. I'll skip right ahead. Do we have anybody wishing to speak on that? Okay. All right, so we'll move on to the consent agenda. Are we doing these two together? Yes. Okay. So is there any discussion on the consent agenda item? Looks like just one item. Any questions or comments from the board? Okay. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Make a motion, we approve the consent agenda as agenda.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Any questions or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries with 4 yes votes. Okay, now we'll move on to item 5, business and finance. A, approved pupil transportation services plan with Oroville Union High School District.
So a new requirement from CDE is that there's a new stream of pupil transportation funding. In order to get that funding, there are a number of new strings attached. One of which is to have a plan that we bring to the board and approve. Because we work with Oroville Union High School District to do our transportation, when they wrote their plan, they wrote it for both of us. So they vetted this all. So this is here for our approval. Basically, your approval tonight means we get the funding. So the pupil transportation plan is very explicit about what the money can and can't be spent on. But again, it's one of those things where they tell us what to spend the money on, and then we make a plan that says we're going to spend the money. And the things they told us we could spend the money on, and then we approve. Do you have any specific questions about the plan? The amount of funding tied to this is about $450,000. And it's supposedly, as of right now, it's ongoing. We'll be having this plan every year, but it's also ongoing money.
Any questions? Discussion? Okay, so this is an action item. So is there a motion to approve the pupil transportation services plan with Oroville Union High School District?
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any discussion or questions? Okay, so let's vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? That's 4 yes votes. Okay, item B is to accept bids for the track project at the studios at Central.
So we have two different bids on this agenda that we're going to first accept each, and then you award each. Just a reminder of how the process works. The studios track project is a partnership with the city of Oroville and some other agencies that they have gotten money through. This is the project where we're going to make the track a public park after hours. There'll be a gate on Wyandotte Avenue that goes along the fence where people can access it, and it'll all be fenced off. The track will be fenced off, but for public use, and it'll have lighting. there's a big, obviously a big upside for us is that we're gonna take that field in between Wyandotte and Central, put it in drainage, which is a big deal. And then redo that track surface, so our students during the school day, so it'll be locked for public use during the school day. Our students will have access to a really, really nice track facility, so we're excited about the project. And this is the reason we're having this social board meeting, is that the timelines are so tight. So we'd gone out to bid before, nobody bid it. We went out to bid again, we've got 3 bids, so we're excited to move forward on this project.
And we need to encumber a certain percentage as part of the agreement with the city and where they're getting their funds from. And so we wanted to be able to get the project started and encumber those funds, with supplies and different things. So again, that's why we specifically called it tonight, so that we didn't have to wait until April to start this project.
I know you had gone out to bid and didn't get anybody. Do you know why we have 3 now? Was it changed? Was what was the difference?
We had gone out to bid the first time, I think in November. I couldn't tell you why all of a sudden now we have more. We were sort of assuming that we weren't going to get any bids this time through, and that the whole project would have fallen through because of the timeline.
Yeah.
We were just fortunate enough to get bids. So we're excited. I don't know if it, I know that everybody's been calling everybody they could to see if people would come and bid it. And so maybe that helps.
Yeah.
Well, we also know, coming from a family of contractors, that, a couple months difference, sometimes frees up timelines and different things for different construction companies to then be able to make a commitment to something like this. So.
And maybe a few rainy months to help them do some paperwork stuff.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion from the board?
I have a question. So, I mean, I love the idea, but since it's gonna be with the public as well.
Mhm.
So is there like who's gonna be out there to clean it? Like make sure that it's safe for the kids the next day, because, it is
Right, so that
there.
would be as it is now, our custodians get to school before school starts and make sure that the grounds are free of any kind of
Yeah.
stuff. And we currently have people that are camping out at those sites overnight already. So I don't really see this as being, particularly big change. Additionally, because it's going to be fenced off, and then we'll be able to open the fences. If there was ever any kind of issue, we can just leave the fences closed. On the school side.
Mhm.
So I don't know that it's going to be that big of a difference use wise, but we will be the ones taking care of it.
Thank you.
And also wanted to share with you that the partnership with the city pays for, I think, about 75% of this project, and then we're going to kick in the other 25%. And so we're looking at, if there's any overruns, they'll probably be picked up by us, but we're dedicated to making this a really useful part of our 3 schools that are right there. And then it's mainly used by the elementary school and the junior high. But with the drainage and all that stuff, that's going to really help us to be able to utilize it all year round. And right now, I think it's going to continue to be DG.
That's the plan right now. I know Spencer had other ideas about track surfaces, but we can deal with that later. The plan right now is DG, but again, I don't know how to emphasize this enough. The drainage in that field, by fixing it and fixing the field so it's not full of holes. And then we're going to put the gopher repellent stuff into the fertilizing machine that does like we have an issue where it goes through the irrigation system. We're hopeful that will be a much safer field, because right now we have had injuries that have occurred from staff, broken ankles and things, of people walking through that field and setting it home. So we're hopeful that it'll be dramatically improve that field to where you're going to look at it and think, oh, that's a really nice looking field, and it's safe, and also we'll have paths to the track, so you're not have to walk through the grass to get to the track. So we're hopeful it'll be a real big improvement.
And tonight you're gonna be bidding on, not bidding or approving some other facilities. But like I was showing earlier, DG can get slippery and different things like that. So other types of surfaces, the tracks are pretty expensive. But I want the board to just kind of think about, how much we might want to invest in, probably not like a traditional, rubberized stuff, because that's very, very, very expensive. But maybe asphalt so that it's a little more durable and things like that. But I just kind of want to throw that out there. Andrews, we go back and forth on this.
Could we get a presentation of comparison of the different services and the possible costs?
We certainly could. I think we should have Spencer run on DG and then run on asphalt for us to.
Right, and then you
Check times.
Trick walk on the beach. Anyway.
Check times, see what's
No.
better. Yeah, we certainly will as we get closer.
Bill wants to push you down. Of course, the only advantage, you have to only run faster than the guy next to you or when you go
Yes.
there.
Well, I told you this is going to be a short meeting, so I'm going to be quiet from now on.
Right. Any other discussion on the bids for the track project at the studios at Central? Okay, is there a motion to accept the bids?
So moved.
Second,
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries with 4 yes votes. Okay, item C is to award the contract for the track project at the studios at Central.
So the recommendation is to accept the low bidder in this particular case.
Any discussion from the board? Is there a motion to award the contract?
I'll make a motion, we award the contract to CO-T Construction of Cottonwood, the low bidder.
Is there a second?
A second.
Okay, any discussion? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries with 4 yes votes. Okay, item D is to accept the bids for the roofing projects at Ophir School and Wyandotte Academy.
So we're going out to bid. These are some large roofing projects, but we have some large roofing needs. The primary and kinder building in Ophir, and then the Wyandotte, it's that main central building. They need to be tore off and redone. So that's what we've proposed. We want to bid to get that. We have one-time funds that we strategically used from COVID money and things we can use for these bids. So it's not coming out of any particular pool of money that we're using for regular educational expenses.
Any discussion or questions from the board? Okay, is there a motion to accept the bids for the roofing projects at Ophir and Wyandotte?
So moved.
There's a second.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstain? Motion carries with 4 yes votes. Item E is to award the contracts for the roofing projects at Ophir and Wyandotte.
The bids are labor only. We were able to get a product directly through the vendor, which has saved us a significant amount of money. So our recommendation is to take the low bid of George Roofing out of Warville.
Any discussion or questions?
I have a question. So the above bid amounts reflects George Roofing is preferred bid only use labor, and then materials in addition would be 185, which is technically not the low bid.
Oh, no, so the 185, Jim Campbell had added some information on here for you. So the cost of the Ophir project would be the cost of the roofing bid, which is the 47,900 plus the cost of the 137 is the cost of just the material itself. So together it would be 185, but all these bids are just bids for labor. None of these include, wow, none of these include the actual materials. And you can see it's all over the place for labor costs.
Yeah.
Any other questions or discussion? Okay, is there a motion to award the contract for roofing projects at Ophir and Wyandotte?
Motion to approve the contract to George Roofing.
Okay, is there a second?
A second.
Any further discussion or questions? All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Abstained? Motion carries with 4 yes votes. And that concludes our meeting. Our special meeting is adjourned at 5:15.